What's going on, Weld 2 family? Welcome back. Today's lesson, we're doing some 309 uphill stick welding on some T-joints. 309 rods are kind of a difficult rod to use, so we're gonna get to the key points on this rod, all right? Let's get to it. All right, Weld 2 family, we got some T-joints here, vertical at 3F position. We got some 3/8 plate. Make sure with 309 rods especially, okay? Now we're going to a different dimension when it comes to these rods. 7018 rods are pretty easy to manipulate, but these are kind of difficult, especially if it's your first time ever using these rods, okay? Now, a 309 rod is an alloy rod. We're using carbon steel, 309 rods for stainless to carbon, but you can still use carbon on this. Make sure you're good at your tie-ins because you will be tying in a lot, especially with 309. This rod only welds up to the number. Once it gets to here, it gets cherry red hot on your rod, okay? That's just the way the rod is made. So when we strike our arc here, when you first see that puddle, it's gonna be a different puddle. So what you have seen from a 7018 rod, it's gonna kind of lie to you a little bit. So when you strike this arc, you wanna spend time on the walls as fast as possible. Don't spend time on the middle. As soon as you spend time in the middle, it's gonna wanna start getting heavy on you, right? Like again, once you start seeing the arc shots, you're gonna see that the puddle looks like it's building down, building down, building down, and when you hit the slag off, it comes real flat. It comes like a real gold color. But this rod right here is a really dirty rod, and it can catch a lot of porosity really quick. So make sure you're clean, make sure there's no mill scale, okay? Again, it's an alloy rod. All right, this is 332, 309, 309L. We're gonna weld uphill, we're just gonna weld one pass. All right, this is kind of the basics of running some stick welding on some 309 rod. Going up here, we're gonna go side to side. Pause on the side. Don't spend time in the middle. Again, it's gonna start to build if you do that. All right? Again, it's gonna wanna lie to you a little bit once you start seeing that puddle. You're thinking that, okay, it's building on me, it's building, but in reality, it's not. All right, so you're gonna see it on the arc shots right now. Other than that, that's it. This is pretty much the basics on some 309L stick welding. Really difficult rod, especially when you're starting out with this. I recommend running on a flat bead, on a flat plate, and then after that, work on some 2F, then we're working on 3F, then 4F. But again, just be very careful and very cautious. Your tie-ins are super crucial when it comes to this, and we're gonna work on our tie-ins as well on this as well. So I'm gonna go put my hood on right here, I'm gonna put it down, go to town, and let's get to it. All right, guys, we're running at 80 amps with the Miller XMT 304. Usually with the 332 7018 regular, you're gonna run at 90 amps, but with this type of rod, you wanna run a little bit colder, okay? Here we go. Make sure to spend time on the sides. Definitely a weird rod. I've taken pipe tests with this before, and whew, let me tell you, it's no fun. So right now I'm about to stop because my rod is getting cherry red hot. Right there. As you can see, it gets really red hot. Okay, that's as much as you can go. All right, guys, so again, I just ran my first bead. It looks really heavy right now. It looks like it's gonna be real heavy, but if you hit it, right now, it's nice and flat, all right? This rod does lie to you, okay? Especially when you're welding, so this is what you want it to look like. Hitting both walls, spend time on the walls, don't spend time in the middle. If you do, it's gonna get really heavy right here, and you don't want that. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strike my arc, come around this loop right here, come across. You gotta work on your tie-ins especially. We're gonna go through about 4 or 5 rods to get up there, so you want your tie-ins to look evenly all the way, all right? Good. Come around the loop. Just like that. Spend time on the sides. Don't spend time in the middle at all. This rod lies. To be honest, Weld 2 family, this is probably the worst rod I dislike this rod very much. Alrighty, Well 2 family, here is another one. I tie it in, gonna hit it out. Right here. See how I tied it in real well? Okay, and keep going up. Your tie-ins are very, very, very crucial. If you tie in more over here, you're gonna get porosity. This is where you get porosity the most. Make sure you strike your arc an inch before, come around this loop, come across, and start pausing on the walls, all right? We're gonna keep going up. Come around the loop, come across, spend time on the side. Again, you might be thinking, man, I'm welding right now and it looks dirty, I probably got a lot of porosity. This is what this rod wants to tell you, but in reality, it's not. Spend time on the sides. Alrighty guys, last one. Spend time on the sides. Spend a lot of practice with this rod, guys and girls. We are finished. Alright, Well 2 family, there you have it. 309 stick welding, uphill on some T-joints. It's a pretty difficult rod, guys, but I hope y'all get something out of this. I hope y'all learn something too. You can follow us on all our social media, Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram, all at WeldTube. I appreciate all y'all support, guys. Remember, burn, learn, and eventually y'all gonna earn. God bless.